Hello everyone, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you a complete overview on how to get started with ChatGPT. This video will specifically focus on how you as a teacher can use ChatGPT to help you save time. I will be going over some of the key features of the tool, and I will also share some strategies or ideas for how you can use ChatGPT to, like I said, help you save time as a teacher. So without further ado, let's get started. ChatGPT is an AI chatbot developed by OpenAI, and it's powered by something called a large language model. The large language model specifically that ChatGPT is using is called a GPT. ChatGPT was created by being trained on lots and lots and lots of different types of text data so that it's able to understand and generate human-like text. ChatGPT also uses something called natural language processing to be able to better understand the nuances of human language. When you input text into ChatGPT, such as asking it a question, for example, it will produce an output for you. The output that it generates for you is going to be a text output. ChatGPT is able to produce a variety of different types of texts. It's able to produce stories, it's able to write emails, it's able to write letters, scripts, code, and so much more. Right now, I am on the ChatGPT website, and this is what the homepage looks like for me when I am logged into my ChatGPT account. If you don't currently have an account already, I would suggest that you pause this video and go ahead and create one. We'll talk about the different account types in just a moment. So this is the homepage of the ChatGPT website, and ChatGPT says, "What are you working on?" I can ask ChatGPT anything. So I can go right here into this text input, and I can ask a question like, "Why is the sky blue?" And I can treat it similarly to almost like Google. When I press return, ChatGPT is going to answer the question for me and provide me with this text output. It's taken the input, which is the text that I provided it with, the question, "Why is the sky blue?" and ChatGPT has responded to me by answering the question that I've asked it. ChatGPT was created by OpenAI, and they have a couple of different account types. Let's take a look at the pricing model specifically. So on the screen here, I am on the OpenAI website and specifically looking at the ChatGPT pricing section. They have individual, team, and enterprise plans. Chances are if you're a teacher, you're just looking for an individual plan, so I'm only going to focus on that for our conversation today. Within the individual plan, they have three different options. They have a free account, a plus account, and a pro account. A free account is going to be very valuable if you're looking to use ChatGPT for everyday tasks. Chances are if you're a teacher, a free account is going to be sufficient for your needs. I personally have a ChatGPT Plus account. I'm actually interacting with this tool fairly frequently, so a Plus account works very well for my personal needs. The Pro account is going to give you the highest level of access. A free account is of course going to be free. A Plus account is going to cost $20 a month, and a Pro account is going to cost a whopping $200 a month. A paid account is always going to have access to more features and more advanced technologies. That being said, I think that the free account is a really great option, especially if you are just getting started with ChatGPT for the first time. Another benefit of using the paid account is that it's going to be just a little bit more accurate, but I still find that there's a high level of accuracy with the ChatGPT free accounts, especially in this year, 2025. So I'll let you decide whether you'd like to have a free or paid version. I think that both are great options for you as a teacher. I am back on the ChatGPT homepage here, and I'm going to walk you through a couple of key features before we dive into some specific examples. Again, this is the homepage. You just saw me type in a question asking ChatGPT why the sky is blue. You can ask ChatGPT pretty much anything, and it will be able to generate a text response to you. This button right here allows you to add photos and files. So if you would like to upload some sort of documentation for ChatGPT to review, you can do so by clicking on this plus right here. This tools button here allows you to dive into some more advanced tools or features. If you would like to dive into the brand new agent mode, if you would like to do some deep research, if you would like to create or generate an image, if you would like to use this study and learn feature, web search, or Canvas. We're not going to dive into any of these tools. I don't find myself using them too frequently, though I do love this create image feature here. But these tools are something that is available to me in my ChatGPT Plus account. Next, you will see that we have this dictate button. If you would like to actually speak into ChatGPT rather than typing, you do have the option to do so. So for example, I can click on this microphone and begin dictating. I'll want to press allow while visiting this site. Why is the sky blue? Press check. Then I can press enter. And ChatGPT is responding again, why the sky is blue. And then I also have this button right here that says use voice mode that allows me to have ChatGPT actually speak to me using a variety of different voices. So you can set an actual sound for your ChatGPT. If you want it to sound in a specific way, you can choose from several different voice options. All right, next you will see that we have a menu on the left-hand side of the screen. I currently have my menu closed, so we're gonna go ahead and open it up. I can press this button right here that says open sidebar, and you will see that now my menu has appeared here in my ChatGPT account. If you wanna create a new chat, you can do so by pressing this button right here that says new chat. If you want to search from all of your saved chats in your account history, you can do so by clicking on the magnifying glass that says search chats. If you would like to take a look at your library, you can do so by clicking on this option right here. And then you'll see I have a few other plugins. I experimented with using ChatGPT to help me plan a trip recently, so I added in this extension of a trip planner. I also have DALL-E, which allows me to generate images using AI. We won't talk about DALL-E in today's video, but I will be posting a DALL-E video tutorial soon. Then you will see I have the option to create a project. A project is very similar to a folder in ChatGPT. If you would like to store all of your chats in one location, you can do so by sharing it or creating it as a project. A new project is a great way to do that. Then you will see all of my saved chats are down here on the left-hand side. I can actually go back and review some of my recent chats that I have had with ChatGPT, and I can see the history. All of it is stored here, which is really nice if you would like to reference something later or continue the conversation. So let's click back on our why is the sky blue example. This is the prompt that I typed into ChatGPT at the beginning of our conversation today, and I'm going to continue to ask ChatGPT some follow-up questions. So I can ask a follow-up question. Let's see, let me take a look at what ChatGPT has said. Shorter wavelengths of light, like blue and violet, scatter more than longer wavelengths, like red and yellow. So I could say, why do shorter wavelengths of light scatter more? So now ChatGPT is actually breaking this down in physics terms for me. It's explaining why these shorter wavelengths scatter more than longer wavelengths. Now, I personally do not have a very strong background in physics, so if I wanted, I could ask ChatGPT to take this one step further. I am actually going to prompt ChatGPT to explain this concept to me like I am a third grader. So let's take a look. Can you explain this to me like I am a third grader? And here's what ChatGPT says. The sky looks blue because of how sunlight acts when it comes into Earth's air. Sunlight looks white, but it's actually made of lots of colors, like a rainbow. When sunlight shines through the air, it bumps into tiny little bits, like air molecules. And then it goes on to explain a little bit more. Prompt engineering is a term that's used to describe the process of typing in very clear instructions or a very clear prompt into a generative AI model like ChatGPT or an AI chatbot. If you engineer a high quality prompt or you type in a prompt that's very clear, you are going to maximize your chances at receiving a high quality response or output from ChatGPT. For this reason, I always recommend that teachers follow a very specific formula in order to increase their chances of receiving a usable prompt from ChatGPT. While you don't necessarily have to follow these steps every single time that you interact with ChatGPT, I certainly didn't in my example of asking ChatGPT, why is the sky blue? But if you're hoping for ChatGPT to produce some sort of usable output for you, I do recommend that you follow this formula in order to maximize your success. So let's take a look at the formula that I recommend. You start off with the clear action, then provide context, then state your specific instructions, and then lastly, restate your task. So let's take a look at a couple of examples. The very first step when I go to type something into ChatGPT, specifically if I'm looking for it to generate something important for me, I will type in some sort of clear action. For example, I might ask ChatGPT to write a Meet the Teacher letter for me to use for back to school. Then I like to provide a little bit of context. I think that context is key in order for ChatGPT to produce something for you that is very usable. I think that the more context that you can provide, the better. I have just a little bit of context that I've added to this example here. The context that I've provided is I am a second grade teacher and this is my 6th year teaching. And then I have provided some very clear instructions. This is the next step in the formula. I've written, please write a 3-paragraph letter to families. The first paragraph should introduce myself to families and let them know I'm excited to be their child's 2nd grade teacher this year. The second paragraph should be more about general classroom expectations and ways that I'll infuse fun and learning into our school year. And the third paragraph should include some general expectations about how to contact me. So you see, I've written some very clear instructions here for ChatGPT to follow. And then finally, I have restated the task at the end. I have said to ChatGPT, write a Meet the Teacher letter for back to school. You'll notice that there is a little bit of repetition in this formula. The clear action is often going to be very similar as restating the task. I still like to start and end each of my important prompts with this clear action and with restating the task in order to maximize my chances of getting exactly what I'm looking for from ChatGPT. Repetition never hurts. Now we're looking at another example. In this example, I have asked ChatGPT the clear action of putting together a list of writing prompts for 10th grade students for the entire school year. I've provided some context, I've provided some instructions, and I've restated the task. Now we're going to talk a little bit about some ideas or examples of how you can use ChatGPT as a teacher. I think that one of the most effective strategies or mindset approaches around using ChatGPT is to think of it as a way to help you save time. I think there's a lot of fear in the education space that AI is going to take over. And while AI is certainly a powerful tool and does have the ability to be used for both good and bad, I do think that as teachers, we can use ChatGPT to take a little bit of work off of our plates and help us save time. ChatGPT can be useful for creating lesson plans. Yes, you can actually use ChatGPT to help you generate a lesson plan. You can prompt it with specific state standards, you can provide it with some learning goals or learning objectives, and it will actually help you generate an effective lesson plan. Of course, you're going to want to make tweaks, you're going to want to make edits, but I think that ChatGPT is a really great tool to help you get started with lesson planning. In particular, if you're anything like me, there can be certain standards that I enjoy teaching less than others, and so ChatGPT can help you be a little bit more creative on some of those standards that you sometimes run into difficulties with teaching. ChatGPT can also be really useful for helping you write emails or respond to emails. Replying to emails takes a lot of time as a teacher, so using a tool like ChatGPT to assist you can certainly help you save time. You can also ask ChatGPT to generate a specific tone in the emails, and the more you practice, the more you use it, the better it will begin to understand your own specific writing style. Just always make sure that you are proofreading before you press send. ChatGPT can also be very beneficial in helping you create rubrics. If you would like to learn how to create a rubric specifically, I actually have another tutorial video that I created recently that I will have linked for you in the description down below. But ChatGPT can be very useful in creating rubrics for you. You can input the assignment, you can input the standards, the grading scale, and it will actually provide a rubric as an output. If you want, you can even export the file as a document, as a PDF, as a sheet, whatever file type you would like to use. I've also found that ChatGPT can be very valuable to use to help you generate subplans. Let's say you're in a bind, you're feeling really sick, you aren't up to creating your own lesson from scratch. ChatGPT can be very helpful to create a subplan for you to send off and take just one thing off your plate when you're already under the weather. And then finally, I also think that ChatGPT is a great way to batch out work. I love to plan ahead, but I don't always have the time to do so. ChatGPT can actually help you plan ahead. For example, let's say you're an English teacher and every week you provide some sort of writing prompt to your students at the start of class. You can actually ask ChatGPT to generate a series of writing prompts for the entire school year. That way you have those ready to go. Something that would typically take you a couple of hours to do as a teacher, ChatGPT can actually generate for you quite quickly. If you are looking for some additional ideas, I will have another video linked in the description down below for you to check out some more examples that can be useful to help you save time by using ChatGPT. The last thing I will provide some advice on in today's ChatGPT tutorial is around student privacy. ChatGPT is owned by a company called OpenAI, and I always like to be very mindful of things like student privacy and student data. For this reason, I would advise against putting any sort of personally identifiable data about your students into ChatGPT. In particular, I would avoid putting specific student first and last names. I would avoid putting in data about IEPs or any sort of sensitive student information that you would not want to come out in a future data breach. This is true of every technology that you are interacting with, not just ChatGPT. Thank you all so much for tuning in to today's video about how to get started with ChatGPT. If you liked this video, be sure to give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you're not already, and I'll see you back here soon. Bye, friends.